In this sales day episode, of course, we've got orders to pull, but we're also going to talk about what's going to happen as I fast approach 60,000 listings in the store. Right now, I'm at 54,285. So join me on this journey. Yo, 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 YouTube, it's that time again to pull orders for yesterday's sales. Do have a fair amount of them here. It's not my biggest sales day, but Thursdays are generally pretty busy, but not the busiest day. So we'll do that, and then I also want to discuss a little bit about approaching 60K inventory in my store and what I'm going to do when I hit that number. But let's start getting these pulled. Starting to see some Christmas type cards sell. So I've got this Bionic Santa Claus, pretty sweet promo card from Wizard Magazine. So we'll pull that one first. That's in 928 24/4. Right here. I did make some progress on switching, there it is, switching some more cards over from the non-skewed system to the skewed system. I, of course, have a ways to go yet. I have about 2.5 drawers yet. I do have a stack of bagged cards there that need to get in the drawers. I'm working on these right now, finishing these up. I had a lot of them. 1996 Favre cards, mostly base stuff. There's some inserts and some short prints and stuff in there, but it's mainly base, so I'm not really worried about getting a ton of sales on them while they're out. But I've gotten a bunch bagged, and of course listed a lot of new stuff as well. So we've got to shift some things around. My current drawer where I'm working is, I think this one, yeah. So you can see I've got about 3/4 of this drawer done now. I moved some, this is some 97 Favre stuff. I moved some of that around because I had a bunch of vintage back here with space. I wanted to fill the drawer as much as possible so I could get a bunch more bags in. So I got pretty much this whole row just added yesterday into the drawer. And as soon as I finish the 96 Favre stuff, I'll pull all this 97 Favre, which is this area here, this area here, and this area here, and start getting those bagged. Once I get those pulled out, I should be able to fit most of what's in here, what's currently bagged in the drawer. So I just kind of trade them out as I go. And then this is some Jeter stuff, and then a little bit of vintage, which I can start then bagging. So that's where we're at. So I guess I technically have like 3.5 drawers left because most of these are not really full. I've got my charger in the way here. Most of these are not really full, but all this stuff has to be skewed and bagged, of course, as well. So we just keep working on it. That's the best approach I can feel I can take on it. And like I said, once I hit the 60,000, that's all the inventory in here. I do have the additional cabinet, which I haven't even started yet. I just made another sale. That's always good. So we'll just move over to that one once this one gets filled out. So I'm really glad I found another cabinet early enough on so I'm not scrambling later to figure out what to do with stuff. Talked with a friend last night a little bit about maybe using that extra cabinet as cards that need to be listed yet. So instead of like the boxes of monster boxes and stuff of things I have to list, I would just keep them all in that cabinet, which of course is fireproof. It's easier to, you know, open drawers and pull stuff out and whatnot, and then just get it bagged. So we'll see. I might do that too if I don't need it right away for inventory. Okay, next card is this Ted Williams Card Company. Who's this? Enos Slaughter. It is a numbered card, but it's numbered out, well, This card is 1462, but there's an additional 0 in the front, so I'm guessing it's like 10,000 copies. But we got $2.69 for that. Nice little insert card from the Ted Williams Company in 1993 or 94, one of those years. Oh, I forgot to put this bag back. Oh, wait, it does go in here. 1924. Oh, wait. Yeah, 1924-6. There we go. Losing track of what I'm supposed to be doing here. Alright, then we've got a Jerry Rice card. Jerry Rice stuff has been pretty good lately. I was looking at my numbers from last year a bit yesterday, and November was still a fairly slow month last year. But then, like mid-November, it really started picking up, and December was crazy for sales. There's this nice Jerry Rice Absolute. One of my favorite sets. It's really hard to find this year's Absolute stuff. This is 96 Absolute. And that's why they sell for a bit more too. So I got $2.99 for that one. So I'm really looking forward to December and getting some big sales and moving some stuff out and just continuing to focus on the business. This is kind of a fun sale. This buyer has been buying these Favre metal cards for me in chunks for the last couple of weeks. So he picked up 5 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's the end of them. That was my last 5 that I had. So he cleaned out my 95 Fleer metal Favres. I think I had like 20 or 25 of them. So that's nice. So $12.45 for 5 of them. That's a nice sale. Then I got a Packers police card sale. This is the 22nd. Yeah, it's going to be up here. Let's see, we need 3, 22, 16. A lot of police cards that I listed all at one time that I got for free last year. I do have a huge lot of police cards that I bought not too long ago that I have to get listed. So I'm happy I've got some sales on this stuff. Try to not overstock police cards. They're decent sellers. They're not big money, most of them, but because they're shorter printed, that definitely helps the sale. And then we've got an Aaron Donald rookie. This sold for $3. Went back and forth a little bit with the buyer on this. And obviously Aaron Donald was very dominant, but was willing to take a little bit less on it because he is retired. He's a defensive player. He will definitely be in the Hall of Fame. There it is, a star rookie from Upper Deck. But kind of, he's gone. He's kind of forgotten. There isn't a strong market for him now since he's not playing. You know, and as time goes on, his attention will fade. So figured it's good to just take the money when you can. I got that out of a quarter box. I know that for a fact. So, so there's good money in there. All right, then we've got a. Let's see. This is a Tom Brady Rookies and Stars. That's in 7-2 bag 11. 7-2-11. Okay. Just a Rookies and Stars base. There we go. That sold for $3.29. So I'm fast approaching 60K. The numbers seem to be climbing really fast, and now they seem to be going really slow. But I think that's because I'm in anticipation of finishing out this store to start building the second one. Build it out more anyway. I have pretty good feedback on the other store. It's got like 800 feedback, something like that. It is top rated seller, so it's really all ready to go. I got to build the branding on it. I'm going to just name it the same as my current store, the Dollar Box, because buyers don't really notice the difference. Your username is not really that relevant on eBay. It's what you name your store. So I'm going to use the same logo. I'm going to do all of that so buyers won't really see me any differently on there than we did on, they do on my current store. So that's the beauty of it. And I'm going to start with the, I think it's called the standard store, where it's like 20 bucks a month for 10,000 listings, 15,000 listings, something like that. Until I get up to that 10,000 mark, and then I'll turn it into a premium store, which will give me, I know this is bagged, but I don't have a SKU number on it. I've run into this before with these Breaking Bad cards, so I got to look up the listing date on that one. So pull that later, but that was a nice sale. This insert card I got out of a dime box. I bought a bunch of these. This sold for $5.99. All right, then we've got a vintage football card. So let's open that and try to search for that. And I'll talk about a little bit more about the store here as we're looking for it. But we need this Archie Griffin from 1980 Topps. All right, let's take a look here. So yeah, the second store is pretty much ready to go. Just need to finish out the current store and have that all maxed out. I want to constantly keep my initial store maxed out. So as soon as I'm selling down in my current store, I will still be listing there first up to that 60,000 mark. So it's just going to be kind of my growth portion of the business is going to go mostly to that second store, where once I'm maxed out on the first one, I keep building out the second one. That is the plan. And then I don't know what I want to do after that. I figure I have 60,000 listings there, nothing to really worry about for quite a while then, especially with still filling up the initial store. So I think the two of them are going to be about all I can handle until I get to the point where I have to decide, do I want to keep growing and hire somebody, and you know, things like that, things that change the business model quite a bit. There's Archie Manning. Wrong Archie. We need Archie Griffin. There he is. Got him. So that's the plan right now. So would it be an additional, I think it's $20 a month for that store. I think you do get a $25 coupon every quarter, so I would get some additional supplies for free, which would be nice too. And we got a Steph Curry mosaic base, $9.25. Bag 13. So that would be nice. I use it mainly for bubble mailers, but I've been going through so many now with bigger orders and stuff. There he is, Curry. I had a whole bunch of Currys that I got. I don't remember if that was a lot or I just got them out of a 50-cent box. I don't remember what it was, but basketball's starting to heat up a little bit in sales now that the season has started. Now we got a Jerome Bettis, 7/21/24/2. So I've been getting some questions on my primary store. Well, what do you do when your listings are maxed out? And are you just not going to list stuff there? And will that slow down your store? Here we go. This playoff card show, Super Bowl card show. Love those cards. And that sold for $2.99. What are you going to do to make sure you can keep listing once you're maxed out? So my plan with that is actually something that I've had to kind of stop doing just because I've been so busy trying to build. Let's see, we need 8-3 bag 4 extra. But that's to do more end listing and sell similar. So part of the goal with that primary store while I'm building on the second one is to get some of that older inventory sold, because it doesn't do any good to build up a second store and then have a bunch of stuff be static and not selling and initial store, which is still going to be my best place to sell, at least for a long time, while I'm building up the second one. So the goal there would be, oh, I need more out of here. The goal there would be to do as much end listings. That's Beavis and Butthead cards, I love them. Do more end listings and sell similar. I've kind of been getting back on that a little bit because I don't feel as much pressure to list new stuff all the time, and I haven't been to a show in a bit just due to being busy with other stuff, so I haven't had like the best stuff to list. So I started going back to doing more end listings, sell similar, which has boosted my sales too. And there we go, sick. Beavis and Butthead. With the show coming back, Beavis and Butthead stuff has done pretty well. So that's my plan. I would love to... What's cool about end listing and sell similar is essentially you're still listing new cards, but it's not nearly as much work, obviously, because you don't have to take the photos, you don't have to create the listing. Basically just, I do them in batches of 200, so I basically just end the 200, sell similar the 200, and then delete the previous 200, so you don't have those ended listings out there anymore. That's how I do it to keep it clean. So I could do thousands of them in, an hour or two. That, to me, that's a big advantage. Okay, I got this Brett Favre Panini sticker. Don't sleep on the stickers. They actually sell pretty well, especially if you get cool ones. So I'm always on the lookout for good stickers. So I've got this Vikings kind of rainbow foil Panini sticker, and that sold for $4. So more than like any of his base cards from that year. So the stickers are good. So anyway, I want to make sure that I can continually will list in the current store. Even if I'm maxed out on my listings, it doesn't matter when you do end listings, sell similar, because you're not changing that listing count total. You're simply, like if you're at 60,000 and I end 200, that puts me at 59,800. Then I sell similar to those 200, I'm right back to 60,000. So you never run out of listings if you're doing end listings, sell similar. So I think that's a pretty solid plan. We'll see where it takes me. I have thought about doing more auctions as well, like doing maybe some lots or things like that. Especially if I find bigger buys, which is my buying strategy adjustment a bit this year. I plan to buy more tables out and big collections. MLB, Donruss, Derek Jeter, pretty cool. I have this whole order here is a bunch of Yankee stuff. Yankee stuff's been super hot recently for obvious reasons. They're going back to their first World Series since like 2009 or something, I think. Is that right? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, it's been a while, so Yankees fans are all lit up and buying stuff. So this next card's a Giancarlo Stanton, who's of course MVP of the pennant series that they just won. 625, number 6. So I made it a point this past week to really get any Giancarlo, Juan Soto, all that stuff listed, to make sure that, I had my Yankee stuff boosted as much as possible. Alright, what am I looking for here? I need this one, the one in the very back. The home run scratch-off promo card thing. I had a Stanton of that. Stanton has never been a good seller for me at all, so it's kind of nice. All the stuff that I did have already listed, most of it's sold, and then it's helped me sell some other cards as well. Okay, now we got another Jeter. So let me know what you think of that strategy of building the second store, using the primary store still as my primary place to list and get sales, at least while the other one's building. There's Jeter on a roll. And And then just use the M listing, sell similar, to make sure that I keep getting listings and keep pushing sales of the old inventory on the initial store when it's maxed out. 213, bag 2. Need an Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge stuff has always done well, but he's going to be the MVP, I believe. There we go. We got 2 of them. I believe this is just a plain one. I do have the silver here, but it's just the base insert that this buyer bought. So that's the plan. I do have one entire cabinet yet that I don't have anything in, that I've got cleaned up and everything now. It can come down when I have time to do that. This time of year is kind of crazy for us. And obviously we're getting into the holidays, which makes things even crazier. But I live in the woods, so we spend a lot of time doing leaves, and we're involved in a bunch of different Halloween activities. Here we go. So we have this Pro Sigs cheater with his facsimile signature on it. One of the greatest signatures in sports, in my opinion. So once we kind of get past Halloween and the raking of the leaves, or blowing of the leaves, I should say, I'll have a lot more time to really focus on the business stuff and getting the cabinet down here and all that. All right, and then we've got a Fleer Genuine Jeter. That's the plan. Keep building out the inventory. Keep getting things moved over to bags that aren't bagged. That's probably my biggest regret, is that, oh, this is the, biggest regret is that I didn't start out doing my inventory that way, but hindsight, don't make the same mistake I made and have to spend a lot of your time later on getting those SKUs assigned. Do it right off the bat. All right, 919, 16. It should be this one here. But I think all in all, considering it was December 7th of last year that I started the bag system, I think I've come a super long way. Gotten a lot of stuff moved over. Obviously anything new gets listed with a SKU in a bag. And I think I've gotten through a pretty darn good chunk, while still focusing a lot on growth and customer service and, you know, all the other things that are necessary to be successful. All right, we need 928. 24, so we're still pulling Yankee stuff here. I need a aficionado Aaron Judge. I always buy Judge stuff. I kind of avoid buying baseball during the season because it has a pretty weak off season for prices and a pretty strong sales season during the season. So that strategy has worked pretty well for me. I've been able to buy a lot of cards for a good price. I've got this Jeter, A-Rod, and Soriano Yankees Leaders card. And that's going to be 10, 1, 12. So that's kind of my strategy. I'm just listing as much baseball as I can right now. I'm trying to finish out sales, you know, during the World Series here, whatever I can pick up. I have a ton of these. I bought a bunch of those at the National. And then kind of sit on buying baseball for a bit, and then like after the first of the year, right before there's kind of a boom for training camp coming up, I found is a pretty good time to buy baseball. So that's going to be my strategy again this year. And then once baseball is officially done, then I spend a lot of time on football, because that's obviously the peak time for football. Okay, so we've got a 2014 Elite Jeter. It's kind of funny, all these Jeters are selling after, I mean, he's not like on the team right now, so you'd think it'd be all the current players that would be selling, but Jeter just always has a market. All right, now we got a big baller Jeter, 8-bit baller, excuse me, out of, what is this? This is Big League. All right, 325-2. So I'm really pleased with plan going forward. We'll see how it goes. I mean, there's no like model for how to do this, so I'm just gonna try it. I figure if the second store doesn't yield me anything, which I don't think that's possible. So one of the comments, and it brings up this thought in my head, one of the comments I've been getting from people is, well, yeah, but why do a second store? Then you're competing with yourself and so on and so forth. And I get what they're trying to say, and they're maybe not entirely wrong to some degree. However, I believe that based on my sales experience and history, I believe that certain stores get pushed at certain times, and you get on certain servers where certain people are looking for cards. You know, promotions change when you list it, you know, versus when somebody's looking at it. There's just a lot of variables into getting an actual sale that I think a second store isn't really competing with the initial store. And to me, the biggest factor in that is your second store is not going to look exactly like your first store. You're not going to have, I mean, it'll look like it, but it won't have the exact same inventory listed at the exact same time, you know, with all the same cards together where somebody would want to buy the multiple cards. Like, that's not going to happen. So I feel like you're still different than your initial store, even though it looks the same logos, all that kind of stuff. But in theory, you should have different stuff. Like I do a lot of non-sport. I do some oddball stuff. There is trillions and trillions and trillions of cards out there. So I don't think listing this Jeter Highlights card, one of my favorites from Topps 2015, I don't feel like there's any possibility you're going to replicate the store you currently have. There's really no way that could happen. 10-1-13. And, you know, somebody said, you're not getting any new eyes on your items that way. Well, that's true to some degree. You know, if I post more to another platform, you're maybe getting different people looking at cards than look at on eBay. But then the argument goes back to sort of competing with yourself, right? So if you're listing cards there and you're listing cards on eBay, you know, you're still competing with yourself, because somebody might be getting that sale on the other platform and you're not on the platform you're on. And you can't like get sales on both at the same time from the same buyer. So what do I mean by that? So let's say you're here we go. Let's say I'm selling a bunch of Jeter like I just did here. And you have a bunch of Jeter listed in your eBay store, and you have no Jeter listed in your other platform, for example. And the buyer is looking for Jeter stuff on your other platform. Well, you're still not going to get the sale, because their eyes aren't going to see the stuff you have on eBay, if that makes sense. So there's no wrong to that. Like, if that's where you want to list if you want to list your cards on a different platform, that's fine. You can certainly do that. And I've done that with some cards too, and I've gotten some sales that way. But I don't think there's any real negative in just boosting your numbers of listings on eBay. And the thing is because it's like, well, how many stores are you going to make? You're going to fill that one and then start another one? I kind of feel like at that point, if you have 120,000 listings, as a single person employee business, I kind of think that's the max you would be able to handle anyway on your own. And then you start looking at building out your own website for sale. Like there'd be bigger steps you'd probably want to take after that if you're hiring people and things like that, if I go that far. But between listing between both stores and sales on both stores, like I can't imagine that two wouldn't be enough. So I feel like if I build out the second one, I'm good. Then you really want to start looking at other platforms and things like that. But if I have, you know, let's say I have, I don't know, I probably sold like 120 cards or something yesterday. So let's say I double that, you know, assuming you have two stores, you know, you get the same amount of sales out of both stores. You know, 240 cards on a light day. You're pulling, like, I don't know, that it would get kind of crazy. But that allows me to kind of evaluate that over time too, which is nice because you don't build that second store in a day. Oh, this one I just listed, so it's going to be in my stacks over here. So 10, 24, 3 is what I need. Here it is, second one down. Nice. Here's a card I just listed that sold almost immediately. You gotta love that. These are more fringe player type cards I was listing. So I love getting a sale. So I've got this Steve McNair Contenders Open Field hologram card for $2.99 out of a big bulk box buy. But that allows me to continue doing a lot of buying because I have plenty of places to list more cards. And so I don't have to kind of back away from that. Oh, I got enough inventory, you know, kind of thing. Which I never want to stop buying. That would be a big mistake. 5, 2, 24. So I've got this Paul Konerko refractor that I'm looking for here. But there would never really be a have to be a stop to the buying because I don't have a place to list. And you know, have to go, okay, well now I got to create something on another platform because I can't do anything with eBay. I would hate to be in that position. So this would give me still quite a bit of freedom. Here's a couple of Julius Erving Sports Illustrated for Kids cards. Those are not skewed, so I'll pull those later. Really cool Fangora card I got at the National. Bought a bunch of these. They're like cards of horror magazine covers, basically. Kind of a kitschy little item, which is what I love about it. And this sold for $3.30, so I got good money for it too. So I'm really looking forward to it. I feel like it's going to be a big step in growth. It'll be kind of fun to celebrate, you know, hitting that 60K mark. It's such a big effort, and it'll really allow me to focus on the next stage of growth. I'll have my current store really at the point I want to be at. You know, it maxed out, if you want to call it that. I love this card. This Bigfoot monster truck card from Allen and Ginter. I priced it high because I hadn't really seen much sales on it. And I thought it would do pretty well. You don't see a lot of monster truck cards. And it's so cool. Allen and Ginter does such a nice job with really focusing on so you can see I've got a bunch of Allen and Ginter here I bought at the National. They do a really good job just focusing on the item itself. Very plain white card, classic sort of, you know, text on it, and I just love their cards. So I got $4.99 for that one. But I appreciate all of you watching and kind of following my journey on it as well. Here's a soccer card that's not skewed, so I'll pull that after. A manager, crazy. And more to come. I'll keep, you know, making videos and telling you guys what I'm trying to do. We do have a live show on Wednesdays with me, Charlie, and Stu every Wednesday at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. So if you haven't tuned in for that, try to catch that. We have a lot of really good discussions on there. For example, this week's episode, we talked a lot about time management, which gets more complicated as you get bigger. So I've got this Sammy Sosa 1992 Topps card here for $1.99. It's just a Topps base, not a rookie or anything, so it's a pretty good sale. So yeah, join us on there. If you haven't joined the Discord, you can find the link down below to join our Discord. Pretty active there too, lots of different discussions. It's a great place for you to have a voice. So instead of just watching me, you can actually get in on the conversations and ask questions, provide feedback, help others. It's a great little community, and of course it's free, so nothing wrong with that. All right, so I'm looking for a Provisions. I've always had a love for Provisions. Buy them every time I see them at the right price. But I got this Derek Thomas here, and I got $4 for that. So I want to continue working on, building the social media. I'm back to making more videos. I've had built in some more time available to do that. Got a Jordan card that needs to be pulled. Oh, I see. This is kind of fun. You can see this right since it's happening right now, but looks like I sold the same card twice, right? But I didn't. What happened was I got a new sale. You can see in my notifications up there, I've got an eBay notification. So when I get a new sale while I'm pulling orders, it kind of duplicates it, which is kind of weird. This isn't skewed, so I'm not going to pull it right now, but yeah, that's what it looks like when I have an order that comes in while I'm scrolling through and pulling. We've got another police card here, baseball one this time, of Milwaukee Brewers, of course. So these are all going to be, just cards from the local team, since they're issued by our local police department. So here's Jim Edmonds. Played for the Brewers in 2010, looks like there. But I got just bags and bags and bags of these for free from a former police officer who just had them laying around, didn't know what to do with them, and I was more than happy to take them. Alright, then we've got another ASG card, which I'll have to pull out of the set boxes down there, so I'll do that after. So I'm excited to really get this first store completed, if you want to call it that, just so I can kind of focus on some other new things and some other things that I have going on, like this YouTube channel and other stuff I want to build on. So we got a Wacky Packages sticker here from that nice big lot I bought at the goat show, which more to come on that. We're just about ready to, in fact today we'll get all the goat show stuff announced for the January show, January 12th. Had to kind of take a break from that stuff for a little bit too. We took care of some other things. Here's another All-Star Game card sale out of the sets, so we'll do that. Then we've got a Jerry Rice and Favre big sale here. So we need Jerry Rice, bag 17, 18, bag 17. Of course, it's the last bag in the drawer. That's always the worst one to try to pull out. Let's see. Oh, that was pretty easy, actually. Alright, so we need a Jerry Rice UD3. Actually, we need a couple cards out of here, so that's always nice when you can pull multiple cards out of the same bag. So there's the UD3. We need this playoff card. Let's just see, since we're in here, if we need any more. Nope, that's it for that bag. But yeah, I think I have my operations down pretty well. Doing inventory, how I buy, things like that. Gonna try to change my buying a little bit this year. Try to buy bigger quantities of stuff at a time to get even better prices, which I think is a good strategy. And now that I'll have the second store, so I need 2 of these Bowman foil Favres, my last 2 actually. Last 2 in here, I have a few monster boxes of Favre cards to list yet. Okay, that's not skewed, so we'll skip that. 17, 16. So operations-wise, everything's going very smooth. Mail has been moving well, haven't really had any problems. Haven't gotten anything returned. Feedback is good. It's a hologram card here from the Pro Bowl, pretty cool. Holograms were all the rage in the 90s. So I don't really need to change a whole lot on that side. The other nice thing about doing my next store still in eBay is I don't have to change anything SKU-wise. I'm simply gonna, whichever store I list in, it's simply gonna get the next bag numbers because it's not relevant to which store. So like, let's say I sold this card in my other store, it's still gonna say 57, 24, 27. So I'll know exactly where it's located. So I don't really have to separate them out, and I like that part too. Don't have to build out another inventory system. And that's one of the things I hated about auctions. I ran auctions every single month. The bag ripped a little bit. I ran auctions every single month for a long time when I didn't have nearly as much sales and inventory and stuff to deal with. And you have to keep those separate because it's too hard to... Some don't sell and things like that. You don't have to pull them out later. And it's just too difficult to do it. Let's see, we got some new orders, so maybe we'll just pull those right away. We got 2 more. So we got this Frank Thomas card here for $3. 2/1/24/2. Topps Gold. I got a bunch of complete sets of these are like super cheap, like $1 a set or something. And they've been slowly getting plucked away. Here's the Frank. And then the other one is a Sports Illustrated for Kids card, Carlos Beltran, which has not been skewed yet, so I'm not going to pull that one right now. So that's all I have to pull for right now. Yeah, that's the future plans. Really looking forward to it. Looking forward to taking you on my journey. Hope you're enjoying it as well. Let me know what your thoughts and comments down below. I appreciate any feedback I get. And we'll look forward to seeing you on the next one. Have an amazing weekend. Have a great Halloween. I don't know that I'll be making another video for Halloween before Halloween because we are very busy for this holiday season. And but remember, you can't sell what you don't list. And we'll see you again soon.